You can do a little better than that. Come on, guys. All right, so let's use a relatively loaded topic because people have strong opinions on this. Are you free?
Oh, that's a difficult one.
So
yes.
Notice what he's doing. Do you see a little trance response happening? People call this thinking, right? But it's a relatively low-level thinking, right? So you say you're free?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, it depends on what. How do you mean?
Do you notice how now he's stuck in a thought loop?
Yeah.
You see these thought patterns are looping on the same level. Now I want you to really think about it. What does freedom actually mean to you? Notice what just happened here. Do you see we just popped through the thought loop? He was stuck in a place where he was ready to argue with me about why he's free and is kind of free but not free really and so on. Intellectual things that are useless. But notice what his mind is. Do you feel it's going now? Your mind's going to a little depth. It's searching for something, but you can't quite put your finger on what that is yet, can you?
No.
You know it's searching. You know there's a furious, like there's a hamster in a wheel in the back of your mind, running like crazy, but you have no idea where it's going, right? So really think about that. Does this remind you of something, right? The intensity? But I'm not pushing the same way, right? You can feel the intensity, right? Really think about that. Does something else come up? Now, I've just given an exit. Notice that?
Yeah, now I'm wondering if...
See, now he's learning to think. And this is where the freedom actually comes from, by the way, right? So by asking the question, it's a paradoxical question because in the act of answering it, he will become it more, right? But I'm not really interested in the question as much, although a little bit I am. What I'm more interested in is the tools, the mental tools I am forcing him to develop. And you don't normally think this way, do you?
quite a lot, actually.
You do quite a lot about magic, I guess.
No, about philosophy and reality.
Oh, excellent, good. Yeah. So carry right on then.
In what way? I mean, one of the things about...
Thank you.
Yeah.
He just gave it to me. In what way? What is he asking for? He's asking for a specific tool. I haven't given him one. I'm being ambiguous with my instructions to keep going, right? What was my original tool? It was the question. What does freedom really mean? What does freedom mean? I mean, there's a simple answer, right?
Yeah, well...
I'm helping guide him a little bit. So what would be a simple answer?
The simple answer would be the ability to make your own decisions.
Right. And what's the problem with that answer?
Well, the problem is, how do you make your own decisions? Where do those decisions come from?
And how's that a problem?
Well, most decisions come from your own conscious mind.
How do you know?
Well...
And there we are again. Do you see where we're going? Do you feel like you're going to places that even though you're used to this, it's still forcing your mind into it over and over again? Now, by the way, these are trance-like responses, aren't they? I could very easily at this point just really think about how free you are. I wonder if this hand will move towards your face as your unconscious mind figures out different elements of freedom you haven't even thought about. So now he's in a bind now, because he wants to pay attention to his hand, but the question's actually more intriguing than the hand. But now the hand is actually learning to move in a different way, because not in the way he's used to, creating automatic motion. This is not an ideodynamic response anymore, because they're not focusing on the hand moving. He's focusing on the idea of freedom. It's a very different and alien idea, but we're still getting an unconscious response, which is no longer ideodynamic at this point. But when a hand touches his face, I think he's going to have an interesting insight, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but I don't know what it is.
That's right. Now you're learning. And I'm encouraging that because that's unconscious territory. That is new territory. He's not stuck in a thought loop. That's education, by the way. If you did this at schools, children would line up. They'd come early, leave late. Right?
I would.